I don't know about you, but crunchy, cheesy, delicious checks a lot of boxes for me when it comes to dinner. And chicken cordon bleu is all of those things. Today, my friends, we're making my version of the American classic with an easy 3-ingredient cheese filling, which includes my all-time favorite style of ham, an updated breading technique that I would argue is better than the traditional method in every way. And even though this chicken may look intimidating, I can promise this is surprisingly easy to throw together. So let's dive right into the filling, which is just herbs, cheese, and ham. I went with a classic herb combination of parsley and tarragon. Pick the leaves off the parsley and the tarragon, then use your knife to mince the herbs up. Herbs and cheese are also going into the breading, so set aside another pile for the breadcrumb you'll use in just a minute. Next step is the cheese. Feel free to use a pre-grated Swiss or really anything you want, but I'm going with gruyere, which does not have an edible rind, so be sure to cut that off and then grate it up. Also set aside a little extra cheese for the breading. Chicken cordon bleu is, despite its name, an American creation. And it is basically ham and Swiss inside of fried chicken, which, don't get me wrong, ham, Swiss, and fried chicken all sound great to me. But I will take any excuse to use one of my all-time favorite hams, which is called speck. It's an Italian ham, much like prosciutto, that's been smoked. And this stuff is a delicious, nutty, smoky ham that I cannot recommend enough. I laid out a few thin slices and chopped them up. Before we dive into the chicken itself, combine the grated cheese, one of your herb piles, and the chopped up speck. Then grab a chicken breast, pat it dry, and clean up any of the gristle and fat that's on it. First step is to butterfly this. Cut into the chicken sideways right in the middle until your knife is most of the way through. Then you can unfold it, and if you need to use the tip of your knife to make a couple more slices and widen it a little bit, go for it. Now you're gonna flatten this. First up, lay a sheet of plastic wrap onto your table, put the chicken on top, then cover it with another sheet of plastic. Surrounding the meat with the plastic wrap will help keep it from tearing during the flattening process, and there are a number of different tools you can use here, but if you don't have any of them, grab the smallest pan in your kitchen, which will work perfectly fine. That said, I'm going with a meat mallet. These things have two sides, the spiky, tenderizing one and the smooth one. Using the smooth side, start to hit the meat and flatten it. Be gentle when you're hitting this thing. It really only needs a little coaxing. Start at the thickest section and work your way out to flatten everything until it's a nice even thickness. You can definitely get there by whacking straight down, but if you hit and slide them out at the same time, you can control what the final shape is a little bit better. The more rectangular you make it, the better for this next step. Take the top layer of plastic wrap off, season the chicken lightly with kosher salt on only this top side, and then put the filling in a pile right in the middle. Roll one side over the top and then fold the edges in towards the middle. Once the filling is covered on 3 sides, finish rolling it closed. Now take 2 toothpicks and stick them all the way through right at the edge of the fold. If this thing looks delicate to you, you are correct. And if we tried to bread it right now, it would fall apart. So put it onto a tray and slide it into your freezer for at least 30 minutes, but preferably an hour to firm up. While that's chilling, it's time to set up your breading station. There is the classic breading technique where you coat something in flour, dip it in beaten eggs, and then finally put it into breadcrumbs. If that's a technique you're comfortable with, feel free to use it. That said, I'm using a different method, which I think honestly is an improvement in every way. It's easier, it's faster, it's less of a mess, and it gives you a much crunchier coating. The only lift is separating eggs, which if you've done before, you'll know is extremely easy. I cracked 2 eggs into a bowl and used my hands to scoop the yolks out because we only need the egg whites. Then I added 40 grams of cornstarch and whisked it up very thoroughly. This technique works with any plain or seasoned breadcrumb, but for today's recipe, add the small pile of grated gruyere, the rest of the herbs, and cover it with panko breadcrumbs, then toss everything together. We are ready to go, so grab the chicken out of your freezer. You're not looking to freeze this thing solid, you just want to tighten it up so it doesn't fall apart. Put it into the egg white cornstarch mixture and roll it around and use your fingers to coat it fully. Then lift it out and let some drain off and put it into the breadcrumbs. Roll it around and gently press it to get as much of the breading stuck onto the chicken as you possibly can. At this stage, you can pop this thing into your refrigerator so long as you have a wire rack, but I'm frying it right away. Personally, I like to use peanut oil for deep frying, but whatever oil you use, make sure to not fill your pot up more than 2/3 of the way full so it doesn't overflow. We're gonna need to cook this at a slightly lower temperature for slightly longer in order to fully cook it and melt the cheese. So bring the oil up to 325 degrees Fahrenheit and gently lower the chicken in, then set a timer and fry it for 10 minutes. Once the timer goes off and it is this beautiful deep golden brown color, lift it out onto some paper towels, season it all around with kosher salt. Make sure to get all 3 toothpicks out. And now is the hardest part, which is letting it rest for 5 minutes before you cut into it. And listen to that crunch. This chicken is genuinely ridiculous and it is so good. You should definitely give it a shot. But anyway, that is all for me on this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.